are now joined by Mr. Nitin Kedia, National General Secretary of All India Jewelers and Goldsmith Federation, now joining us. Mr. Kedia, afternoon, Ashesha this side, and thank you for taking your time out and joining us here on ET Now. Your first thoughts and first reaction to the announcement that has come in, 10% tariff. How does life change for India's jewelry exporters?
It's a status quo for us. We are expecting that yesterday on the 23rd of July, the surcharge of 10% which was there, that will expand. We'll have some 2-3 days or some weeks of tax holidays. But they were fast enough to impose the Section 301, and now we are back to square one with 10% of tariff. And for last 2 or 3 months, we have started to adjust with this 10% tariff. And as of now, I don't see any impact of this coming to our industry.
All right, so status quo maintained for the jewelry industry. Hi, Mr. Kedia. Meryl D'Souza here, also joining in. Can you tell us what, if there is more, and if yes, then what more do you expect from the India-US trade agreement?
See, what we are expecting that as far as jewelry is concerned, we are the major part of the chunk goes to US only for our exports. And if we are searching for the new markets, then it's going to take 10 to 15 years for their development. And there's no such a big market like US across the globe. So we are expecting that we'll get some benefit from the US government, and there will be some free trade agreement related to jewelry, and probably this duty will come down to zero. If not zero, then at least will be around 3% or 4%. And also we are expecting that as government has done the FTA with UK, in which the silver import duty is being slashed from 15% to 10%. Similar kind of things could be done with the US from where if we are bringing down the refined gold and silver, that can become in the less import duty, which is going to be beneficial for both the countries. Like raw material is coming from there, and we are exporting them the fresh goods.
So from 10%, you are expecting that to come down to either 0% or 3% after the India-US bilateral trade agreement is signed. But Mr. Kedia, if assuming that we remain status quo, at least for the time being, till the deal is signed, how is India positioned as compared to other countries like India and Vietnam and other countries which export jewelry to the United States? So what is the competitive strategy that India is working with at this point in time?
See, India is leading the jewelry industry in the world with the innovation that we bring in terms of design, quality, and other things. So right now what we are doing is we are focusing more and more on quality and innovations and bringing new designs to the market which no one can bring. And across the world, it is being accepted that the quality or the designs which India brings, that no one can bring. So right now we are focusing on that, and also with the help of GJPC, we are organizing more and more trade fairs across the world, like in Europe and US. And we have increased that trade fair so that we can connect to more and more people there, and we can show our designs to them, we can show our work to them. So at last, what will happen that the quality is going to win over all our competitors. Ashish.
All right. But take us back in time a little bit. Post imposition of tariffs last year in August, how much have the exports been impacted by?
Last year, August, that was a very pathetic situation. We, in fact, came down in a month 70 to 75% at one point of a time if we exclude the gems and stones from the jewelry, or diamond from the jewelry, if I talk only about the gold. So that was a very painful period. And but after the Supreme Court decision came there, and things got improved. And right now we have started to live in this kind of 10% situation. We are back to normal. In fact, we are expecting that in the last quarter of this calendar year, well, if the same tariff is being maintained, then we'll show around 15 to 18% growth in jewelry exports quarter on quarter.
Understood. One last question before we let you go. How has demand from other areas been? Something like Middle East, I believe we export to the Middle Eastern region as well.
See, Middle East right now is the kind of situation Middle East is facing. The demand is very low from there. The export which used to be there to the Dubai or to the Qatar or Saudi Arabia, that has drastically came down by 30-35%. And generally, July and August, these months are very weak for demands globally, we have seen. So we are expecting that probably from the September, the compensation would be made and we'll be having some good demand coming from the Middle East too.
Demand from Middle East region is also expected to surge going forward. That's the word coming in. Mr. Kedia, thank you so much for taking your time out and joining us here in ET Now and sharing your thoughts on what the outlook for the industry looks like, especially after the tariff announcement from US President Donald Trump came in late overnight. Thank you for joining us today.
Thank you, Ashisha and Meryl.